Hello and welcome back to the Handy Capable Black Woman YouTube podcast. And welcome to my kings, queens, princesses, and prince. It's like, how are you? Well, this is my first YouTube podcast, but just know I do have the Handy Capable Black Woman podcast on most podcast streams, so make sure you check those out. But with my last YouTube episode, I kind of wanted to do a little story time. And I know, well, I'm going to do a new story, something I haven't discussed on my podcast yet. And something that, well, all of the examples are African American black men. Because right now it's like I'm kind of wondering what is going on with the dating atmosphere between black and like black women and men, because now Tyler Perry is not the first one to tell us, or especially tell me, that I need to lower my standards. But at the same time, I keep wondering, how come I don't hear other nationalities say this? And honestly, I hear the opposite. I keep hearing, like, when some of, like, my Indian friends or Asian friends, white friends, whatever, when they're dating someone, they a lot of times they tell me, no, my mom says no one's good enough for me, or this person doesn't have a good enough career, they don't make enough money, and oh, since I have this degree, I need to find someone that matches. And when I do anything close to that, because if you guys have watched my previous YouTube episodes, I show you parts of my dating profile that I put on majority of my dating profiles, because some dating apps don't allow you to put some of the stuff or descriptions or whatever. But one of them is to have a degree. And some people think it's because I'm shallow and stuck up, but oh, now you're gonna learn why even more, especially when it comes to the African American male atmosphere with dating, because they are part of the reason I have that. It's not the only reason. Oh no, it's like I've had some white guys, especially if you guys listen to, again, my podcast. I just did a 3-part series about Mr. Lakaki and how I dated him for 5 years. And it was not by choice. So, yeah, listen to those episodes. But I talk about how he lied to me about his education, and I did not know about it until his wonderful female friends told me at a very tasteless taco party. Yeah, if you're gonna make some tacos, put some seasoning in it. But anyway, it's like the guys were talking, playing video games. Like, I kind of think they were doing other things too, but yeah, that's a different, yeah. But all of his female friends were just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's dating you. It's like you're so impressive, and oh, like, why are you dating someone like him?" And I'm like, "What? Why?" And that's when I found out he dropped out of high school. He didn't have a GED. He didn't have a high school diploma. And I mean, this is a white guy, but it's crazy because when I date outside my race, a lot of African Americans get mad at me. Black love, you're supposed to be dating a black man. You need to date a black guy. Why? Oh, it's like I used to have fun. Like, I remember there's this one African American male a couple years ago. He was driving me from work, and he straight out told me, "Yeah, I used to have fun with white girls, but that was just for fun. Now that I want a committed relationship and want to get married, I'm dating only black women." It's like you're supposed to wait until a black man asks for your hand, or says that he wants you. When after I finished my bachelor's, I was looking for work and a career, but also I applied to grad school and got accepted. And I remember going up to this African American guy that I thought I was talking to, but when I told him, "Oh my gosh, guess what? I got into grad school. Oh my gosh, this is so cool and amazing." Yeah. No, he didn't think so. He looked right at me and said, well, he didn't say, I'm not going to say all the exact words because I don't really swear, but why in the world are you doing that for? Either you drop out of that or you stop seeing me. No man wants a smart woman. Do you know how many black men have told me that? But then I keep getting told that I am supposed to wait for a black man to desire me, want like think I'm worth marrying and stuff. But I'm supposed to quit school. I'm supposed to drop out of school. I'm supposed to stop working on my dreams because a man doesn't want a smart woman. Like, no, no, that's not, no, that's not how I work. That's not how I do. And he was shocked when I was like, okay, bye. And even like 2 or 3 months later, he contacted me like, why haven't you called me back yet? What do you mean? I said, like, either you drop out of school or, and I was like, yeah, I didn't drop out of school. I'm not going to drop out of school. So I don't need to talk to you. And then next thing you know, I get called every name in the book. Especially, yeah, it's like the female dog, yeah, arf arf. But yeah, he decided that I was of no value because I was choosing myself over him. And throughout my dating life, I keep, like, especially when it comes to African American men. Oh, and don't worry. Oh, I'm going to talk about the white guys. It was like, well, I just did, like I said, I did a 3-part series on Mr. Lockakey, and I've talked a lot about Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart. I'm gonna do a series on Mr. No Heart soon. But also know, like in my novels, when I talk about some of the dating, actually, like 95% of the dating experiences I'm gonna talk about or I mention in my book, those really happened. It's like not the superhero parts because some of the X's, because I write fantasy. So when you read like he had superpowers and or he was an alien and stuff like that, yeah, eliminate that part. But when you look at the actions that the person did, especially in my first novel, yeah, Mr. Lockakey did all of that. So, and Mr. No Heart, yeah, and I'm Patty. I'm very Patty. So I'm thinking about my main character writing a letter to Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart. And it's going to talk and describe and say everything. Or actually, she might even write a letter to Mrs. Lockakey, the same person who did not allow me to get my money back that he either stole from me or he borrowed. He knew he borrowed it. But yeah, listen to that 3-part series and you'll know what happened. But yeah, I'm going to be petty with that. So, but when it comes to dating and education, I dated white guys that did not either they did not step up to where I am or where I want to be. I bumped into black men who same deal or they told me I better quit, I better stop. And even with my business ideas, why are you going to do something stupid like that? You're supposed to have my babies and that's what you're supposed to care about. It's like your job is to be fertile. That's what a man wants. I only care about if I'm able to bend you over and do as I want. That's what you're, and cook my meals. But then these men wonder why I lose all interest. But then it's funny how they're shocked that then I want nothing to do with them. And then, like, they're waiting for me months later because I guess other women have come back to them. And they're sometimes shocked that, like, oh, well, she's supposed to be begging for me. And then they find out I don't, I'm not, there's no way. And so then I'm the worst woman in the world. But then it's funny well, with a lot of the African American men, they tell me they don't want a smart woman, or another popular one, they say that I'm too white and too proper. And I didn't know there was a definition that I was supposed to live by. I didn't know there was I'm obligated to live up to a stereotype. I didn't know I was stuck in that box. Because I mean, even though they try to call me a square, that doesn't mean I'm stuck in that square or stuck in a box of identity and ability of accomplishments and achievements and goals and aspirations. Some of these guys, the only part of aspirations they have is everything but the preparations. So, especially preparations to achieve anything. But that's just from what I've noticed. And again, or if you've listened to my previous either YouTube or podcast episodes, you'll know I'm still at the beginning phases of my business. And maybe I won't flourish and succeed in everything, but at least I'm trying. And that's another thing. I get frustrated when a lot of African American men tell me to quit, tell me you're going to fail anyways. Who do you think you are? You're just some black girl. Why are you doing A, B, and C? That's stupid. That's what white people do. Why are you trying to be white? What are you trying to do? Live up to white people's standards? Why do you talk like that? Why are you trying to talk like a white person? Is this so that maybe you can be able to get valet and get and not get like, yeah, it's like I've heard so many different things, but even with the whole valet thing, is one guy, he was just like, "Do you talk like that? So when you go and get valet, it's like no one mistakes you as the valet driver." And I'm just like, "What? Um, excuse me? Hmm, okay, okay." But then also, yeah, because it's like that really gets me though. It's like black men. It's like either with my business or with my achievements or my education, how I talk, how I act, my hobbies and interests. A lot of them put me down and or tease me or tell me I'm not supposed to be this way. And I'm like, if you're going to try to change me, why am I going to want to date somebody that doesn't want me to be who I am? Why can't I why can't I find someone that's going to love who I am and what I'm trying to achieve and do? Why can't I find someone who I can uplift them and they in return uplift me? And someone who's going to like love and enjoy more than just me being able to cook or clean or take care of his babies or make his babies. And a lot of men don't appreciate even women being able to give birth. I know men who, like, when they impregnate a woman, they disrespect her still. Or while she's going through morning sickness, while she's having back pain and different ailments, while like her teeth are getting damaged and stuff, because it's like I've been doing, yeah, even though I'm not a mom yet, I've been doing so much research on it. And Even learning how many women either literally lose teeth because of like the baby and everything. And then even the health risk and how many women they can lose their life because of childbirth. But then I know guys, like if the woman's having a craving and she calls the guy to pick something up, I've heard a guy like, "Girl, you better get that yourself. I don't care. I'm not." He was like, "Oh, so you want me to spend money on what? That's so stupid." And it's just like, hold up. It's like, she's creating life. She's creating your DNA life. And you have the nerve to backtalk her. It's like, I keep hearing African American men call African American women their queens and princesses on all this other stuff. But then I keep witnessing some of these same men treat the woman who was carrying their child like absolute garbage. But then they keep saying that I'm supposed to wait for one of them to desire me. No. And I mean, this is one reason why dating, period, is like, I've just realized maybe I need to just retire. So, I mean, unless something changes, which will, because but when it comes to African American men, I get tired of, especially when I talk about or mention my, and that's one thing, is like, I just try to mention goals that I want to achieve. Because one goal is kind of a childhood goal, but I want to go to all the Disney worlds in the world and all the Disneylands too, Disney World and Disneylands. That's one huge goal that I have. And sometimes when I mention it on a date, how childish are you? Oh, it's like, you know how stupid that is? I'm not walking around no park. You ain't doing that either. That's stupid. Nah, Hmm. Oh, okay. And then that I want to go canoeing in, it's like at least maybe half of the national parks. I would love to be able to experience canoeing at as many national parks as possible. Canoeing, that's some white people garbage. It's like what? Why do you want to go canoeing? That's stupid. You're not getting in that water. It's like, it's like you already have bad hair. It's like, oh, so you want me to, nah, like some, and each one can be a long story. So yeah, let's just say more podcast episodes to go. But going to the theater. And okay, this is not just black men too, because Mr. No Heart, I had this issue with him, so it's with a lot of men, but especially with the African American men. They told me that's what white people do. That's too white. They're not gonna walk around the stuck up white people with their noses in the air to go hear some loud, awful music, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, cause like yeah, if I enjoy canoeing, if I enjoy going to the theater, but then they're telling me they're not gonna go with me, and I bet I'm not gonna go because I'm not going with them. And like I said, it's like and that this is one reason why I'm determined to not continue to date like I used to. Because one, if you listen to my earlier YouTube episode of, actually my other IQ episode, one reason why I was dating so horribly at some parts in my life was because I was told, well, having a disability, I was told, if you keep walking around like that, no man is ever going to want you, love you, or ever marry you. And there's different variations because, like, sometimes they would put in desire you and all this other stuff. But so that's why when especially some of these men would tell me, "Oh, you're not going because I don't want to go. That's stupid. That's white. That's whatever." Part of me was just like, "Well, at least I have a guy. At least I have a man. At least I'm proving them wrong that I can have a man, I can keep a man, but I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? I want to enjoy my life. It's not fair that now I'm being restricted, but then at the same time I have to go do stuff that I don't want to do with like, because either karaoke. I'm like, karaoke's not my thing. It's not. It's like maybe I'll tag along once in a while with a friend now, or but back. Oh my god, like, but yeah, that's not my thing. Or watching sports, or him playing video games all day long. But then at the same time, him hardly having a penny to his name, so then he needs to borrow money from me. Yeah, no, never again. Yeah, because that's the same gentleman with the video games who would tell me that only women and gay men go to the theater. Yeah, yeah, he was a jerk. He was a jerk. But he's going to be great as a villain in my novels. He's going to be great as a victim in my novels. Oh, and his youngest daughter, too. Yeah. It's going to be a joyride. So, I do want children, and I used to want to get married. I used to try to do the whole Christian, like, okay, it's like I'm going to wait for my husband until that's when I'm going to then start having children. I know how to cook, I know how to clean. So I at least have the main attributes, and I'm very cheerful, I'm very bubbly. Like literally one of my nicknames is Bubbles. And so, and yeah, because even when I did promotional modeling, it's like a lot of people always like, oh my gosh, you're so bubbly. Oh my gosh, you smile, like you have such a vibrant smile. And so, like in a relationship, I know that I bring that to the table. The ex's moms, a lot, like several of them mentioned that to me. And it's just, it's just sad how now I'm being told that women are supposed to lower, black women are supposed to lower their standards, when even when I did, it was a trifling mess. Even when I did, they still blamed me. They blame, like it was like narcissism. It's like, and that's one reason for years I like after I broke up with Mr. No Heart during COVID, I had to get back to the dating world and stuff, and so but then I realized, okay, yeah, don't date, don't mention my degrees to these guys. Don't mention that I write children's books. Don't write that I'm going to be publishing my first novel soon, or I'm working on a novel, but and four other novels to come. And don't mention that I'm working on my workbooks and a Etsy store. And yeah, it's just like, don't mention any of those things, because mentioning that, I got put down. Oh, so you don't have any kids because you care more about writing. Oh, so you care more about a fancy piece of paper than having babies. No, I was trying to have a husband before I had children, but then the guys I was dating, I realized they weren't. Well, I would feel bad if I shared my DNA with it. No, yeah, that well, either I would feel bad or embarrassed or a combination of both. But and yeah, so it's like I know I'm not perfect. I'm stubborn, and I'm better with the time though, because I used to be late all of the time. And I want to say I have a valid reason, an excuse. I know some people are going to say it's BS or whatever, but I mean, waking up in so much pain, like sometimes I was in so much pain, and sometimes I was in pain during the night where I never got deep sleep, and I woke up so easily. So by the time the morning started, I was exhausted. And especially after, like, in the middle of college, my college years, the pain in my legs started. And I don't, it was just to the point where it was hard to just get up. It was hard to move around. It was hard to just exist. And so now that I have been diagnosed and I've been treated, I am a lot like, I don't know. I don't think I've been late. Yeah, I haven't been late since my diagnosis. So, especially because now that I know and I have a lot of the proper treatment and I've done a lot of research and found different things to help me. And I mean, no, oh, I still don't wake up early in the morning if I don't have to. I'm still a night owl. I'm definitely still a night owl. But when I need to wake up early, I know the precautions or I know what I need to do in order to do so. But yeah, and I know if at all possible to make the appointments a little later to allow me and my body to make sure that I appreciate and take into consideration the other person's time as well. But I wish I knew about this diagnosis years and years ago so I could have done all of this. And people always blame me or pointed at me, and I'm just like, yeah, if you were in my pain for a week, but anyway, so yeah, I know I'm not perfect, especially with my oh, and that's another thing. A lot of African American men with my disability, they have been the meanest, the worst, like especially when at least a few of them have told me, "Oh, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're amazing, but I would be embarrassed if I walked around with you. I couldn't take you to my family get together because everyone would be whispering about you." I was like, I don't know if you'd be able to be as freaky as I want. Oh, it's like since you're like that, it's like, yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to take care of the kids, and yeah, it's like you're the mom, that's your job. Yeah, those are only a few examples, and but yeah, I'm probably gonna do a top 10 IQ episode on that too, because just having my disability alone, and especially with having kids or making kids with African American men, they made sure they were as mean and vile as humanly possible. I think at least with the white guys, they were too scared, especially if they met my father. I think they were too scared to be as rude and mean. But I've worked really hard, and it's not for anybody else, but you only live once, and I want to enjoy my life. And now I can at least say that I am a self-published author. At least I can say I'm well educated with my degrees, my certifications, and things. And I can say a, well, I've had very great and amazing jobs and experiences and things that most people wish. And I've done some traveling and I plan on doing tons more. And I've done kayaking, canoeing, and things. So I've gone to many theater concerts, and I plan on going to so many more. Now that I'm diagnosed, I know what to prepare for. But maybe this will be a part maybe there will be a part 2 to this. But part of me just felt like I had to dig in a little deeper. But just know you guys are wonderful and amazing. And when you date, you should date someone that's going to encourage and embrace and love you for you and not change you in any way and tell you to lower your standards or lower your possibilities, abilities, dreams, aspirations, goals. No one should ever have that power. Love who you are. Be inspired by your complications to do more and exceed more. But take care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.